DJ and PK, the Utah Mammoth wrapped up their 4-game road trip and 8 of 9 games away from Delta Center with a 4-2 loss in Ottawa on Sunday evening. They'll be back home Wednesday to take on the Buffalo Sabres, Friday to take on the Islanders, and start a stretch of 6 of 8 games here at Delta Center starting on Wednesday and Friday, 7 p.m. face-offs. They've played the most road games in the NHL at 11 and the fewest home games as they return home at 9 and 7. Sunday in Ottawa, they fell behind 1-0, but there was a quick response. Drew a power play 1 minute and 32 seconds after that goal against and scored 2 seconds after that power play expired. It was Clayton Keller, the captain, with 1 goal in his last 7 games, getting rolling in the opening frame from the Canadian Tire Center.
Clayton Keller flies in, shoots on a sharp angle, and scores! Clayton Keller says, "I'll do it myself." And he ties the game at 1.
Utah in that first period outshot the Senators by a 14-5 count, and they felt pretty good going to the second period. But it was Ottawa scoring a pair. They made it 3-1. But again, Utah quick on the response. Nick Schmaltz getting one 3 minutes and 4 seconds after Ottawa took the 2-goal lead to cut it to 1 late in the second, and Utah was in striking distance headed to the third.
Right now is Nick Schmaltz gliding in. Schmaltz to the front, scores! A highlight reel goal for Nick Schmaltz, and it's his 9th of the year.
Nick Schmaltz's team leading 9th goal for Utah. He had just 1 goal in his last 6 games. So the leaders were the leaders in this one for the Mammoth at the end of 4 games and 6 nights, and their second 4-game road trip in 2 weeks. You could tell there was fatigue in the third period. They were playing hard, but there were mistakes in the game that led to goals that could be attributed to just being road weary, and that's what we saw from the Mammoth here, a team that had a 7-game winning streak 2 weeks ago at this time. But they'll be back home, they'll reset, and they'll move forward. Home games finally going to start to add up here. Let's hear from head coach Andre Tourigny and get his thoughts from after the game on Sunday night.
Generate good offense against a really stingy team. Unfortunately, we could not shut the door. I think we had a little bit too many turnover. That's unfortunate, and we need to find a way to pull through. We're doing a lot of good stuff, but it will be good to get back home and regroup.
The guys were frustrated by that McBain call. I'm sure you probably were too. Is there any thoughts, and then just the impact that it had in that third?
Yeah, it had a lot of impact, but that adversity, it's adversity, and we need to keep our composure and keep pushing through. And right now there's always something happen. We're in that kind of a sequence where they score from behind the net in Montreal. Here tonight they find a way to, even if we had a good momentum in the game, to score big goals. So we need to just find a way to be mentally strong and find a way to push the cart across the finish line.
Keller and Schmaltz, top 2 lines. We talked about getting offense and seeing a little bit more success from them. Their individual performances tonight, what did they contribute to this game?
Yeah, I like the way they generate as well. They attack the net. They attack the net with speed. They cut at the net. So, like I said, Ottawa is one of the best team in terms of everything defensively, basically, the way they protect their slot and stuff like that. And we did a really good job to get there and to have great looks there. So that's a positive part of our game. Obviously, like I said, a few puck management will have changed the game.
So you lost 5 of 6 after winning 7 in a row. Well, is there a difference you can see between that time and what's happening right now?
Well, I think when you win, there's a lot of stuff happen, right? The puck doesn't hit you and go beside the net. It hits you and go in the net, and you get, example on the 6-on-5. We have an open net. We should have hit their goalie was not even in the net. That kind of a stuff. I think right now it's just the line is always thin, and right now we're on the wrong side of it.
We get home tonight. What does a reset look like for you, and what do you want to see from the guys when we get back home?
Yeah, I think we'll have an opportunity to rest, have a good day off after back-to-back, and then have a good practice and be ready for our 2 game at home.
One good thing about this road trip, Utah goes 1-3, looking for a split, but no head-to-head points lost. All Eastern Conference opponents, as they got that win in Buffalo in overtime on Tuesday. They wrap up 5 games in 8 nights. Flying home after the game, day off today, practice tomorrow, and then back to game mode. We heard from Utah leading goal scorer Nick Schmaltz after the contest as well.
This one feels like maybe the shots weren't falling, but the effort was there. Maybe the score wasn't indicative of how you guys felt like you played tonight. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, it's frustrating for sure. I feel like we're in a good spot after a lot of these games, and just not finding the way to get the crucial goal. I thought we had it was unfortunate. Boehner went out there and got one for us and called it back, and that's just the way it goes sometimes. And it's a tough league. There's a lot of good teams out there, and we got to find a way to get back on track and get on a run here.
There's been a lot of talk about getting some generation from the top 2 lines. Obviously, you and Keller got a goal tonight. What did that do early on in the game, especially to pick up momentum?
Yeah, I mean, I think you're going to need all 4 lines throughout the season. It's not just relying on first or fourth or whatever line it may be. I think good teams get contributions from everyone. Everyone seems to step up a different night. That's when you're a sign of a good team, and obviously it doesn't really mean anything when we don't win.
What do you guys need to do to get back into that win column? You touched on it in your first answer, but what are some of those things you guys want to see out of your group?
I think just not getting down on ourselves. I think maybe, when you go through tough stretches and you're not winning games, you seem to, you get frustrated easier when they score. You don't. We need that drive, that energy. We can come back no matter how many we're down, 1, 2, doesn't matter. We gotta want it. We gotta want the puck. We gotta want to be able to make those plays when it counts. And I feel like a lot of the times when they get one, they get another one, and we got to be able to stop that and turn the momentum back in our favor and just play our game like for a full 60 minutes, because no one can really play with us when we're playing at our best.
Some of the changes offensively speaking, just lines and power play and whatnot, do you feel like that's something that's going to have to, I guess, chemistry and gel over time, or is this something you guys need to see a little quicker?
I don't know. I mean, power play, obviously, we only had 1 look tonight. Got one kind of like 1 second after the power play expired, but we got to generate more off power play. I think that feeds everything. I think, when you're scoring the power play, guys get more confidence. Special teams wins a lot of games in this league, so we got to be a difference. The guys that are on it, it's a privilege to be on the power play. We can't take it for granted, and we got to work, and we got to make plays when it counts.
So just nothing left in the tank for Utah to finish this road trip. 8 of 9 is what I'd call a scheduling quirk for a team that headed out onto the road after a 4-0 homestand, took 3 of 4 through St. Louis, Minnesota, Winnipeg, then lost in Edmonton, and they've dropped 5 of 6 since they had that 2-0 lead in Edmonton 2 weeks ago yesterday. We're looking to get reset. Mike Folta telling us just need a little bit of a tune-up and maybe a little bit of Delta Center. We know they need some Delta Center. Back with the home energy, sleeping in their own beds. They'll be reset and ready to go. We're talking Mammoth all week long on Mammoth Daily, wherever you get your podcasts, Apple, Spotify, and now on the Utah Mammoth Team YouTube page. Mike Folta and myself on today's episode. Mike will have his morning after with Matt McConnell and Dominic Moore from the TV side. Also, we'll give you our Monday morning power play, top 5 stories of the week. So join us on Mammoth Daily when you're done with DJ and PK. Again, wherever you get your podcasts, with you every day, Monday through Friday. Have a good rest of your Monday, and we will be back Thursday to recap the game with Buffalo.